Hey, everybody, what's going on? This your man, Big B, Brian Hanley. Welcome back to Steelers Almighty. This is our All-22 edition that we do of the offensive line each week. This is preseason edition. Tampa Bay, we usually have them out on Tuesdays, so during the season. So make sure you are on the lookout for that every Tuesday. But today we're breaking it down, just first 10 plays of the game. Just to give you an idea of what the first team offensive line looked like, it was a little rough. It was a little rough, people. So let's get into this. Before we do, remember to like, follow, subscribe, and always hit that notification bell so you know exactly when Steelers Almighty content comes out. So let's get into this. So the first play here, first and 10, 36-yard line, just a little 2-yard out to Kenneth Gainwell. Let's get in and break this stuff down, ladies and gentlemen. All right, got a little motion here just to see what the defense is shifting to. Everybody on this play is pretty good. The only one that I see, and you can see right off the bat here with our main man, Mason McCormick, comes out of his stance super high. Super high. Gets his hand, but he gets his hand immediately displaced. I mean, it is immediately displaced. This was what defensive linemen are taught to do, but he shoots his hands quick. That's part of the Pat Meyer thing that I don't like. Everybody always tries to jump set, and get on guys immediately. Well, it's fine if you win early, but if you ever have to regroup or a guy counters, it can be tough. And here, you see it's tough. Again, you see him get his hand, that left punch, it gets displaced immediately. He giving up his chest. You see his hand right here. It's on the outside, no leverage, that back foot way off the ground, which that no offensive line coach is teaching you to have your feet that high off the ground when you're engaged. That spells trouble, and he gets driven back. It's not ideal for this situation. Everybody else is good. You see Broderick over here doing work. Good hand placement. You see Troy over here doing work. Double team right here. Quick out. Everybody but McCormick on this play is pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty good. All right, next up here is interception. So not a great play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, to say the least. Not a great play, to say the least. But we can look at it as far as an offensive line standpoint. Let's start with Broderick. Well, actually, let's start with Troy. Troy reacts to the zone drop because they look like they're bringing 4. They end up bringing 4, but it's a zone blitz. And Troy reacts to it very well. Reacts to it really well. Gets back inside. Immediately looks inside. Gets passed off by McCormick. Don't like that right there, where he's kind of hugging on the guy. Don't like that aspect of it. You'd like to see that hand. But again, 94 does a good job of displacing, But Troy's got to keep his hand in there and punch. He tries to reset, and he ends up wrapping around. Now, that's not necessarily holding at the moment, but it could be classified as that. But he's in position, and his feet are in good position, so he can stand there and take the punch. Now, the person that I really don't like over here is our main man, Spencer Anderson. So go back to the snap here. Comes off. That's good position by Spencer Anderson right there. Good punch, good position. But you see Vita Vea, which Vita Vea is a tough guy. Let's not kid ourselves. He starts to work to his left. And as you roll it, he gives up and he drops it. Look at his foot. Remember what I was just talking about? You can't even see his foot there. It's so high off the ground. That is not how they teach it. That you don't get taught to pass block that. And he basically is opening the gate. instead of shuffling his feet across this way and shuffle to stay in front of him, he takes his left foot to drop back. That's a tackle move. Tackles can do that to push guys around. As guards, you can't do that. You got to slide and keep guys in front of you, and that's a problem here. And as you see it, he drops it back, opens it up immediately. That leaves a clear path to the quarterback. Now, he fights, don't get me wrong, and that helps, but it's just not ideal on what you're looking for. Not a lot to do here with Zach Frazier. He sees the linebacker, but the linebacker doesn't even challenge him. Now you look at our man McCormick. Again, push off, get some depth, looking to help. Then our man Broderick, good kick. That's a good kick to get out there. But here's the thing. High. That's the thing with Broderick. Out of his stance, he's high. That's good position right there. That right there. Look at the knee bend. Look where he is. Good position right there. But then you move it. And look at that hand, that left hand. That's I don't know where he's going with that. The guy's chest isn't up there. Like, what are you doing with this hand up there, Broderick? The guy's chest isn't up there. You need to have a target angle much lower than that. Much lower than that. And so when you see he's outside, gives up his chest. Well, you're going to give up your chest when your hands are that wide on the initial punch. He's got to do a better job at that. Again, he's in good position. But that hand right there, that left hand is way out of position. That's way out of position. So, and he has no punch. By this time, he's got to at least contact. First contact you see right here is made by who? The first contact is made by the defensive lineman. This hand not near engaged yet, and he does a lot of under armpit. I don't like that at all. He's outside. He recovers, but not a good rep. Not a good rep, to say the least. Okay, next play. 1st and 10 from the pit 28. This is a 1-yard rush by Gainwell. Look, people, I don't know where you even start on this. This is just bad football. But here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys in the box. But the Steelers, you count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7 guys to block them. So you have plenty of guys up there to block this football play. Yes, one guy's going to be free, but let that be the backside guy where this is going. And let's see. But this was bad. Basically, everybody gets whipped on this football play. Everybody gets whipped. Not a good look. We'll start with Broderick. Doesn't even get off on the snap count. You see, everybody's moving. Except Broderick. This was a big problem last year. Look at everybody moving, but Broderick. I could see if this was a loud stadium, it's on the road, it's a regular season or something. This is at home in a preseason game, and you can't get off on the snap. I'm not trying to hear the excuses for it, ladies and gentlemen. You let it play. Again, standing straight up, out of his stance, gets out late, stands straight up. First contact by the defender. Turns. He's totally out of play. Like, what are you doing? And then just gets shoved aside, and his guy makes the tackle. Now, if you're trying to tell me, and the people that get on me about getting on Broderick say, well, he's got to learn. You got to give him time to develop. This has nothing to do with development, people. This is want to. This is effort. This is just effort. Like, that's horrible. That's horrible. But he wasn't the only one. Look, this is I don't know. I think this is supposed to be bent all the way back. Now, we don't know the plays, but you look at Darnell Washington, you look at what he's doing, he's pulling. So, and you look at the double teams and the blocks initially right here. You know, I believe this is a double team and they're going to block back. This right here, he is trying to block back on Rudolph. He is trying to block back here. Okay, great. But it doesn't work out that way. You start with Spencer Anderson. Comes out. Again, his foot. Good footwork initially. Gets there, but again, contact. And he gets stood straight up. Straight up in the hole. But if you notice, look where his hand is. Outside. His hand is outside. You're not going to have leverage there, man. And he even beats a D tackle off the ball. Look at this. He beats him off the ball. D tackle's not even moving yet. Neither is Broderick, but that's okay. He's not blocking him. Beats him off the ball, but his hands, you go to engage, you go outside, hands are way too wide, defender gets leverage, and you just get tossed aside. Now, the bad one is Zach Frazier. Zach Frazier gets abused here. I get it. He's trying to down block on Vitavea. And this play is supposed to bounce back, people. This is not like a off tackle play to the offense's left. It's not. It's bouncing back. You know, you look at our man Darnell Washington, and you just look at the guys. They're trying to not cut people off, but block them going downhill and block back on them. That's what this play is designed to do. But Zach Frazier doesn't get his hands in the right place, doesn't get his head in the right place. And Vitavea just says, no, he's way too strong, and just hip tosses him. Just literally hip tosses him. And again, it's the footwork, though. It's the footwork, ladies and gentlemen. You look at Zach Frazier, he's trying to step and down block on Vitavea, but look at his left foot. Look what he does with it. He picks it up, puts it right back down in the same spot. He doesn't get any ground. He might as well not even have moved it, because all he does is pick it up and put it right back down in the same spot. Look at that left foot. Right back down the same spot. If you're trying to attack this guy, you have to move. And he literally doesn't move. And then he feels like he's in bad position, which actually there he's not. He's not in a horrible position, but his hand's a little low. And a guy that big and strong, when your hand gets low, you get a little bit out of position, and Vitavea just literally hip tosses him out of the way. It's ugly, ugly play. Ugly, ugly play. And on the backside, look, Mason McCormick, this was a problem for him all last year. More concern with the backer. Look, he's already looking at the backer to block back than he is on getting movement right here. Your first priority has to be driving this guy back. If the play is going to come this direction, which it was going to, but there was a whole bunch of garbage in here that caused him not to cut back, this linebacker, who you are responsible for, is going to run over here. Just get the movement right here first. He'll come to the football. He'll run right to you. Literally, he'll run right to you. But that's not what he does. First of all, he doesn't give Troy enough room on the double team. You see there, he's got the whole man, where Troy can't get a piece of him. Played a little further. He stays on. See, he has no part. That's just not a good double team. You can blame Troy a little bit too. But Troy's trying. He's trying to get there, but McCormick doesn't really move. He's already looking. He looks away, doesn't see the guy. And then not only that, then he doesn't even come off and block number 8. Like, if you're going to be paying more attention to him, you at least have to come off and block him, don't you? But he doesn't. I think Gainwell could at least attempt to go back here. See, he sees right there. Look, if the play is supposed to go to your right, which I know that it is, you could just look at the way guys are trying to block, cut it back and just see what's over there. Just go right and see what's over there. But he doesn't. and there's not anything there for him. So it's, again, good kick out by Walsh on that side. Just not a good play by the offensive line in general. That one, they got whipped. All right, 2nd and 9, next play. Frazier and Broderick are not good here on this outside zone, ladies and gentlemen. So it's straight outside zone here. Let's start with Broderick. Footwork, not great. Uses it, takes a step back versus laterally. That's the first mistake. Doesn't gain any ground. But okay, he's there. Now, I know what a lot of people are going to think is that Broderick misses 23. And initially you could say, well, first of all, he does miss him. He doesn't block him. But that's not his responsibility. Let's go back here to the snap. On an outside zone play, ladies and gentlemen, here, 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 and here. These are the gaps that these guys are responsible for. Just go run. If anybody runs into that gap, that's who you block. Okay? If somebody runs behind you, you can give a hand, but you have to be on a track. You have to be on this track. And if anybody comes here, that's who you block. Be on that track. Be on that track. If this guy somehow said he slipped inside, that's Broderick Jones' man. In this gap. Not here, here. That's the difference. And so it starts out bad. Because Broderick's looking. The DN runs with him. And instead of Broderick just keep going, he stops. Now, the problem is he stops and he doesn't block the guy. Okay? This is what you're going to do? You're just going to drop your head and do that? Come on. Again, it's not his responsibility. He was in good position. Blocks the wrong guy. Got to trust your eyes. Trust the technique. Now, going back to all of this, I know what some of you all will say. Well, if he doesn't try to get him, who's going to block him? Well, that's where the problem comes in. If you notice the defensive line, this is a slant. This is a slant. Okay? This is it. This guy goes here. He comes inside. Okay. So whose job? Again, I mentioned it before. Your outside gap, that's who you block. Well, look at our man Spencer Anderson. He goes, but Zach Frazier doesn't go. And again, look at Zach Frazier's footwork. Look at that left foot. Picks it up, doesn't go anywhere. Outside zone, he doesn't gain any ground. Picks it up, doesn't gain any ground. He just basically takes it and takes a step back. You're not reaching people. You're not getting anybody by doing that. Picks it up, takes a step back, and he's soaking. You can see right at the snap, he's looking at 45. I got to get there. Doesn't even look that 94 could possibly slant inside, and that's who he has to block. Because if he comes inside, Frazier takes him, Anderson continues, and the Steelers are in business. That's not what happened, though. He does it. 45 still goes free. And you see Spencer Anderson's like, well, hell, I can't let this guy go. I know I'm supposed to be in that gap, but what am I supposed to do? I mean, I can't block two people. And you see him come off. He's like, I can't block two people. He's trying. And nobody blocks 45. And that's what I'm saying. Now, you could say this is a good stunt, but you should be able to pick this up. Your responsibility is the gap, not the man. And that's what gap blocking is, zone blocking is. Block a zone. Don't block a man. Block who comes to your zone. You look on the backside. Same thing here. McCormick and Faitanu. We see. He slants, goes backside. But McCormick's got to keep running. But he doesn't. He stops. There's no zone play where they say, you know what, just stop right here. Because who's going to block 8? There's no way Troy Faitanu is going to be able to get this guy. There's no way that that's going to happen. No way that that's going to happen. So he's got to be responsible for 50. Period. End of story. He doesn't get around. McCormick stops. Faetanu doesn't get there. Frazier doesn't get there. We have convoluted on that side where Broderick blocks nobody when he's supposed to block it. Somebody, at least block somebody. He doesn't block anybody. It's just a bad play by the offensive line, people. It's just a bad play by the offensive line. Not good. Not good at all. Just not good at all. Now it's 3rd and 8. The next play. Scramble here. Broderick gets in good position here. Got a little dummy motion. Man coverage. But the problem with Broderick on this play is the punch is too late. See it coming. The punch is just too late here. See, he's in good position. But again, look at that left hand. Right? Well, I say he's in good position. He's in good position here. But he's way too high. And look at that left hand. Where's it going? Where's it going? And you see it. You see it. Can't block anybody with your left hand like that. It's got to be inside the chest plate. But it's so, see where it is? He swings it. It's so wide. Not blocking anybody. Not blocking anybody like that, man. And you see it, it just, but he fights. Now, that's the one thing I will give Broderick credit for. He fights, because we've seen times where a guy counters and goes underneath and he doesn't even touch him. But he fights. I'll give him credit for that. Spencer Anderson here. It's tough when a guy throws his shoulder and he's looking to spin. Like, you look at this initially and people say, oh, that's holding. No, it's not, because the guy engaged with Anderson sideways. So what? Of course his hand's going to be on his back, but that doesn't mean that he grabbed him. It just, hey, now that could be a little bit, but the guy's spinning. You know? I don't fault him too much for that one. I don't fault him too much for that one. So, who I do fault, Zach Frazier. This was not one of Zach Frazier's best games. Zach Frazier gets in good position. But again, you notice that hand. Zach Frazier not like that. This is a bad game for him. Watch this hand and where it goes. Outside. Outside. And if you're going to block Vita Vea, man-to-man, one-on-one, and he's bull rushing you, you cannot have your hands outside. And he gets literally walked back to the quarterback. I mean, this is what happens. Walked right back into the quarterback's lap. Can't have that. Can't have that. I mean, he tries to anchor, but his base gets way too wide, and Vita Vea is way too strong. Got to have your hands inside, and he doesn't. He doesn't. It's too late. Too late. See the game on the other side, though. So McCormick sees the blitz pretty well. The punch is just too wide. Sees it there, comes across. Now that's holding. That's holding. You want to talk about holding? He doesn't engage him from the side. That's holding. Right there. I mean, he literally has wrapped his entire arm around him. That's holding. But it is what it is. Don't get called. So he might have been flagged in the regular season. You don't know. You don't know. Troy does a good job. He sees it. Gets his hands back inside. He's fighting. He's fighting. Gets a little out of position late. Again, not a great rep by the offensive line there. Next play, 1st and 10, Pitt 37. This is the big pass play to Roman Wilson. First off, let's give thanks to, let's start again from the offensive line's left to right. Broderick Jones. This is exactly how you do it, people. The snap, he sees it, inside, waits for the guy to come back. Excellent. Excellent job by Broderick Jones, people. Excellent job by Broderick Jones. Sees it come inside. Boom, gets level, stays square, waits for the guy to come back to him. He does. Just a little simple game here. It's a simple game by the D-line. Big pass play. Go back to Spencer Anderson. Remember how we talked about not giving up that outside, not dropping that outside foot? He does it again here. He sees it. He's in good position right here. He's in good position. But just stay square. He doesn't stay square. And contact comes out. You can say, well, McCormick's there. No, don't blame that on McCormick. If anything, McCormick is pushing him that direction. But he lets that linebacker dictate to him. And you can't do that. He gets pushed back and allows pressure. Just slide your feet. You've got to slide your feet. You see him kicking back and kicking back. No. Got to slide your feet. McCormick's wrong here too. Remember when I talked to you guys about jump setting people? Look at McCormick. He just doesn't give any ground, tries to win early. Well, when you do that, look at the rest of the line. They're giving ground. Well, when they give ground, if you have to pass stuff off, you pass it off. Well, McCormick's not there to pass anything off. Levels are uneven. Now, Frazier stays with it because Frazier is who he is. But yeah, you gotta stay square and you gotta give ground. Troy runs his guy all the way around. He stayed engaged. And Frazier just kind of dominates his guy. So not a bad rep. Not a bad rep for everybody involved. Not terrible. 1st and 10, Tampa 21. Broderick's in good position right here. Except that I don't like that punch. I don't like his punch. He gets his feet in good position, but he's like he's slapping the guy. And first is thrusting his hands out and punching him in the chest or shoulder pads or something. See, he's like slapping him. And that you can't pass block like that. You can't pass block. Now, again, he brings his feet together, which, again, they're not teaching you to bring your feet together like this. But he's so athletic. He gets in good position, but then there's the crossover. That's where it goes bad for here on this rep. Because an experienced pass rusher, or should I say a better pass rusher, he's spinning back. He spins back like that, Broderick's beat. Anybody, if you're crossing your feet over like that, you're beat. You are beat. Because if he spins back, for instance, look at him blocking and look on the other side at Troy Faetanu. Faetanu's shuffling his feet. Broderick is in reaction mode. And it's all because of the punch. But everybody else is pretty good on this play. Spencer Anderson is good. He's got a one-on-one. And again, his hands, boom. 94 tries to knock his hands away early. Spencer Anderson doesn't play that game. See, he tries to knock his hands away early. He keeps his right hand back, re-engages. You're blocked. It's kind of 94's thing. I'm going to knock your hands down early and see if I can get by. Nope, you didn't. Sorry. Then this is the definition on how you pass off a twist between Frazier and McCormick. Remember when I said McCormick, literally the play before, didn't give ground? He does here. He gives ground. There you go. Gives ground. Passes this off. Square. For the most part. It gets a little crazy. But he sees it coming back. And he's right there. Everybody in position. I like it. I like it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a good rep here. Good rep here. Troy's in perfect position, by the way. He's got his guy. It doesn't look like his guy is that interested in pass rushing. Good rep. Good rep. I'll take it. I'll take it. And the only thing, like I said, that I don't like is that right there. That crossover from Broderick. I just don't like it. Because if somebody spins on him, he could have easily see his feet good, but that's the problem. He gets out. But he doesn't get enough ground. And that second left foot doesn't get out there. Right there. If he gets his hands ready to punch, but he doesn't punch. And he doesn't bring that other foot with him. And then you see the right foot, and now he's trailing. They come together. That left foot is way too high. Where the circle is, way too high. Way too high versus shuffling. And now he's got a crossover to try to catch up. Like I said, a better pass rusher spins inside and Broderick's beat. But for the most part, this isn't a terrible football play. Okay, on this one, it's 1st and goal from the Tampa's 2. Little dummy motion. Call a little audible. And on this play, everybody does a pretty good job. Not pretty good job. They do an excellent job. They bring 7. See, Tampa's got 7. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's not coming yet, but he does. 6, 7. They're all coming. And the Steelers have enough to block all of them. They form this wall. I like how they form this wall. They just stack it all up here. Just stack it all up and form a wall. You're not getting through. Wash is included in this. Here's the back. Troy's got his guy covered. That's a DB. He's not beating Troy. He's not beating him around the edge. Got to catch that football, though. Got to catch that football. Hit you right in the face. But everybody does a good job on this rep. They're trying to twist. They're trying to stunt. Steelers just make a wall. And they stuff it. All right, here we're 2nd and goal. Tampa 2, again, a little dummy motion. Check the coverage. Now, let's start with Troy. Initially Troy gets his hands knocked down. He goes to the chop. The defender goes to the chop to chop through and gets his hand knocked down. But athletic. Don't like to see him, again, with the crossover, but he got initially shocked and got out of position. He'll learn the more reps. Sit back. But he's so athletic, he recovers. Still was able to push the guy by. But the initial, you see it here. He goes to get it, and then see that hand, it gets chopped down. This one doesn't fire through. The defender rips through, and he causes, the defender's literally off the ground. He jumps in the air. If Troy's able to push him, that play is over right there. If he's able to get a hand on him and he can push him in the air, that rep on that side is initially completely over. Okay? So that's it for there. Moving on. McCormick doesn't have a whole lot to do here. So he's just helping. He's helping. Our man Frazier's got his guy manhandled. He tries to come in again. He swats at McCormick trying to get free. He's kind of 94 is a one-trick pony. I'm going to knock your hands down initially and then try to bull rush you. Well, you ran into a double team. You're blocked. Spencer Anderson. Now, Anderson starts in good position. He's in good position. His problem is you see this outside hand right here. That's Vita Vea. You cannot have your hands outside, man. He's going to bull rush you. You got to get him inside to try to anchor. Because what's he do? He just discards you. He just discards you. That's it. You see his hand? And there's the difference. It's subtle, but you can see it right there. Vita Vea's hands on the chest plate. Anderson's not even touching him. You can't block this man like that. You're not blocking him like that. And then when the bull rush comes, once he's ready to discard you, he discards you. But problem with that? He tries to anchor, but instead of sliding his feet, he doesn't slide his feet to get in front of him. You see, he's constantly dropping that outside foot. Vita Vea just runs right into it and then just discards him when he's ready. And he does. And there's nothing he can do. So, nothing he can do. Now, going back here, our man Broderick is just good here initially. I don't like him lunging and leaning, and we're going to see later why he can't lunge and lean, because that's not what you're wanting to do here. But he's lunging and leaning. You know, that first hand contact right here is way too low. It's got to be up here and in his chest. But he recovers. Slides his feet, shuffling his feet. That's good. But here's where my problem with Broderick Jones comes in. The play is still going on. Look at Broderick Jones. Look what he does. He looks and disengages to see what is going on. He's in great position. And then he gives up on the play. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then he's like, oh, he didn't throw the ball. I'm like, and he's still so athletic that he's able to recover. But come on, man. Why are you turning to look to see what's going on with the play? Like, what? I don't know. I don't know. Again, he doesn't know how to finish blocks. But again, this is just giving up on the play before the play is over. Like, why? What are you doing? Who are you looking at here? And you can see he's looking. Look at his head. Like, where are you looking? Where are you looking? I don't know. That's not the rep you want. That's not the rep you want. All right. Now it's 1st and 10, Pittsburgh 19. The worst for last for my man Broderick Jones, man. This is not good. Skylar Thompson in at quarterback. You know, a little shift in the formation here. That's horrendous. That's horrendous. Come on, Broderick. Comes off. Good position. But I don't know who's down here, but your head should not be looking there to block this individual. That's all I'll say. Lunging, some of the worst technique that I think I've seen in a while. Broderick Jones is better than this, people. He's better than this. Comes off. Come on, man. That's elementary school stuff. Arm over. You get beat by a backup defensive end with the arm over? Come on. Come on. I mean, and I know what it is. This is lazy by Broderick. He's like, the guy's a backup. All I need to do is step down here. I'm going to throw my head into him. He's going to run into me, and I'm going to get blocked. Or I'm going to block him. Nope, you don't. You sure don't. And you damn near could have got called for holding. Because he grabs the guy by the waist. Absolutely grabs him by the waist. Everybody else is excellent. But Broderick gets saved because Connor Hayward's coming across so he can block him. Wash cleans it up. Everybody else is good. They run a little game on the backside. Again, people give ground. They pass it off. Troy initially gets a little ahead of himself, but he recognizes it. And you see him start to back up. He's like, nope, I got to back up here because I know somebody's coming, and there he comes. But this is good. By those four. Good by Connor Hayward. Good by Darnell Washington. But I'm sorry. This, I mean, I would like to put a big, like, that is terrible. A completely lunge forward, falling down in pass pro? That's just laziness. That's just lazy by his part. You all saw it. That's exactly what he wanted to do. Back up, defensive end. I'll just throw my body into him. Then I'll put my hands on him later. And the guy just gives him an arm over. And he's literally looking at the ground looking foolish. And then tries to get back. And then doesn't even hit anybody when he does get back. Not a good look. Not a good look. All right, everybody. That concludes Steelers Almighty All-22. Again, every Tuesday, this will come out breaking down offensive line play. I know it's not coming out Tuesday this week, but it's a preseason for us too. So again, appreciate all the support that you guys have given us. Make sure you continue to like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know exactly when Steelers Almighty content comes out. Until next time, we appreciate you and aloha.